Hey sunshines! Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm hosting a Halloween party tonight and I have to get ready for it. So I thought it might be fun to sit with me while I do my makeup. I like to do really fun makeup every year, mainly because I don't like to spend money on costumes and my regular clothes are kind of Halloween-y enough, so I just do like cool makeup so that no one notices I didn't buy a costume. I've had the idea for this makeup look for some time now, but I don't actually know how I'm going to execute it. The story behind it is that I want to be some sort of evil sea creature type thing who wanted to look pretty, so they murdered a merfolk and took their face. So I'm going to use the fact that I have two different colors of hair to sort of make this split effect and see how that goes. That being said, let's get into some sketching, face sketching. Let's do it. First, let's get these obnoxious bangs out of our face. So I'm using my eyebrow pencil to sketch out some lines to make my plan. I haven't decided yet though if I want to actually split my mouth as well, because I feel like it'll be hard to keep it on when I go to eat candy or drink something later on. I think for the look to look coolest, we should split the lips. I almost totally forgot. I'm actually going to use some of this first on my face because I'm oily. And the old classic Urban Decay primer. I'm gonna go on my lids and a little bit underneath my eyes too, I think. Technically, I'm gonna have makeup literally everywhere. Let's redraw that little line. So, purple side is going to be glamorous merfolk. This is what we're gonna start with. No, we need to split first. Then we paint after. So instead, what we're going to do is, I feel like I should preface all of this by saying I'm not a makeup artist. I don't know what I'm doing at all. If I do something completely wrong, dumb, bad, or stupid, don't do the same thing. At least it's not on your face. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is take some cotton balls and rip them up and use some liquid latex to create some cool skin effects. It smells terrible, by the way. Remember how I mentioned this smells terrible? It's even worse when it's right under your nose. I'm trying to like knock out latex all over my piercing. That'd be great. Probably should have taken it out. Again, don't do what I do. Oh, it's on the piercing. So as it dries, I'm kind of just trying to pull up the edges a little bit so that it kind of looks like it's healing up. Okay, we'll just wait for the rest of that to dry and then we'll move on to the next step. Since this is supposed to be our pretty glam merfolk side, I'm going to start off by filling in my eyebrows the way I normally would. Oh, I know what we should do. We should put purple in the eyebrow too, so it matches the hair. Yes. The eyes, I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. Start with just a blending color. Oh, I do apologize if I'm just sitting here with my mouth hanging open most of the time. It's the makeup face. Everyone has a makeup face. Eyeshadow. What should the merfolk have? What do you think? Got a goldy color here. Should we have added some purple in there? Can there ever be too much purple? Is the real question. The correct answer is no. What's really nice about doing a split look like this is you never need to worry about getting things symmetrical. You can actually just do whatever look you want and you only have to do it once, because the other eye's not going to match anyways. I think probably we need eyeliner. Luckily, I only need to do it on one eye. I think we can probably get one good wing, right? Debatable. One of my other favorite things to do is the inner corner. Some more powder. Powder I'm using is NYX No Filter. And if you are wondering about any of my brushes, they're all entirely too old, some off-brand. I need new brushes. A lot of them are originally MAC as well. I've just had them for a really long time, so should probably replace. This one likes to shed everywhere. All right, contouring. The question is, do we add blush because it's cute, or do we imagine that this creature's probably dead, so probably has no blush? We'll leave it off for now, because we can always add it later if we want. Yes. Let's add a little highlight. We'll do finishing touches on that later, but for now, let's jump to the side we've all been waiting for, or the side I've been waiting for. Spooky side. We'll start with, of course, the classic washable glue stick. Give that a sec to dry. Okay, now what do we do? Got a couple colors we can use. I have, these are deep potted sugar pill colors. Oh, that's a lie. The little ones are very old MAC pots. These two big ones, sugar pill. I think we'll be using a lot of this green. I grabbed this tiny little CoverGirl palette the other day because it has a whole bunch of colors in it that I think will be useful. I think we'll be using a lot of the sort of yellowy gold color and this green as well. They have a bit of shimmer, but I think that that's cool. And then we'll obviously use just a lot of black and white as well from, again, these are sugar pill. Base color. What do we do? I think probably this. It's gonna look really bright on my skin, and it also takes a bit to build up. We're just gonna dive right in. By the way, I have no reference image for this at all. I may need to look something up later on because I'm not entirely sure how well my imagination is gonna hold up in this regard. Also, yes, I totally realized this would be a lot easier with actual face makeup. But eyeshadow is what I always have on hand, so eyeshadow is what we're gonna use. I also really like it for building color and for blending things. So that glue trick barely worked at all. Probably because my eyebrows are just so dark. That's okay, we'll roll with it. Pretty sure I mentioned I have no plan, right? Oh yeah, we're doing the ears too. I will of course fill in more of my neck, but for now I want to move on to something else because frankly, I'm bored. Let's try out this little green here. Ooh! Ooh, that's so nice. Well done, little CoverGirl palette. So the question now is what to do about this eyebrow. Let's make this whole area really sunken in. It's like contouring for your eye sockets. Looking a little skull-like, which is kind of cool. See, this is around the time that I'm regretting the fact that I don't have any references. I think we're just gonna hide that eyebrow as best we can in shading. So let's do some basic contouring as well. I feel like what we need now is some scale texture. So be prepared, your girl's gonna look a little bit ridiculous for a minute. Ooh, that is cool. Oh, I don't know how well that shows on camera, but that looks cool. The only thing we're missing is some blue. All right, we've had some fun. Now you know what time it is. Neck time. You know how this goes. We're gonna save some camera battery while we do this. BRB. Okay, we're significantly more green. I'll probably wear something to cover my shoulders too, so I don't need to worry about that. So admittedly for this part, I kind of just started drawing stripes on my neck, but what I realized is I should probably have gills. Now the idea is to get these somewhat even. That one didn't really line up. Good enough for rock and roll, they say. Do they say? I don't know, but I say it all the time. Oh, I'd say that looks well creepy. I think the idea is that I'll have my hair down, and then also I'm going to blend some of that dark green back here so that all that messiness that I can't really see or fix is kind of just green. So the other thing that needs is a good little highlight at the top of each one. I want to bring these spots down onto the neck. I'm going to go for black, and I'm going to try to wiggle it up underneath that little ridge that we created with the liquid latex. Next, I'm going to take some red eyeshadow and just over the edges of the latex. Just a little bit too pinky red, so I'm going to take a brown and go over that again to tone that down a little bit. So what do we have left to do? We're going to tight line creature eye. No we're not. Not yet. You know what we need to do? We need a contact lens. All right, how we doing now? Looking creepy? That's the idea. I've not put on false eyelashes in a really long time, so wish me luck. Eyelashes are looking a little crazy. We'll let them dry, see how it goes. In the meantime, let's do some lipstick. Okay, I've always wanted to do that little cornered lip. Never had a chance to do it. Now's the time to try. Oh, it looks terrible. Just kidding. This is why you should have a plan. My dad taught me one thing. Always have a plan. Today's not the day for that pointy lip. Alas, I'm forgetting one of the most fun parts. Where'd it go? Ah, this, my friends, is scab blood. I think that looks sufficiently gory. I wonder if I still have an eyelash curler somewhere. Look what I found. They're still a little bit wild, but like, I'm not mad at it. One thing I almost completely forgot to mention is that if you didn't see my last video, I mentioned that I have finally opened a Patreon and I have my very first patron. So shout out to Jenny for being my first patron. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. If any of you would also like to be a patron of the channel, I will put the link in the description below. The only thing that's bothering me about this whole thing is that the mouth doesn't seem creepy enough on the creature side. I think I want to mess it up a little. Oh, that's well creepy. Good. You know, my goal is that no one at the party can even look me in the eye because they're too scared. I think it's missing one tiny little detail. Got some twine. I'm going to take this itty bitty piece of twine and stick it give that all a second to dry. Finishing little touches, I'm adding a little bit of red and black around where the little sutures would go. So the idea here is to make it look like our friendly neighborhood sea creature has used fishing line or something to sew on our nice little merfolk face. I would say that's pretty much it. I think I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So the only thing left to do is some hair, which realistically, I'm probably not doing much. I think that's some pretty decent mermaid hair right there. And then for this side, I was thinking of like twisting it back. And I might give this side a little curl later, give it a little bit more volume and whatnot. But otherwise, I think we're good to go. So if you enjoy this type of video and would like to see more makeup looks in the future, please write me in the comments below to let me know, and then I'll see what I can do. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Instead of highlighting the brow bone, we're just low lighting it. See, like, what terrifying sea creature doesn't want a good scale highlight? I really cannot see what I'm doing here. Get all of my hairs out of my face. Whoa, did I just lose it entirely? Is it gone? Is it gone forever? It might be gone forever. Oh, do you see what I see? I found the missing thread.